Hi, my name's Juliet, and today I'm talking about how you can get some animated text into your book promo. So what do I mean by animated? Well, I don't mean that your text is going to turn into a cartoon character. It just means that it moves across the page. Like that. As usual, I'm working with a very simple background so that you can see what's happening, which is on track V1. And I've created a transparent text clip, as we did last time for the animation, which is on track V2. To create an animation, we have to use something called a keyframe. This is a method of defining when the animation starts and ends, and what it does in the middle. If you click onto the text clip and look at the text simple formatting box, you'll see a timer symbol by the position and sizing boxes. That means that these measurements can be used in a keyframe. So you can change the position and you can change the size of the text over a specified time on the timeline. We're just going to be changing the position today. Place the cursor at the starting point of the animation, the beginning of the text clip, and click the timer icon. If it's not already on the screen, you'll see a keyframes timeline appear. If you want the text to start where it appears by default, you can leave the default settings, or you can change them. The first way we're going to do this is by manually putting measurements into the box. To move the text to another point, move the cursor and change the measurements. You'll see a diamond appear on the keyframe timeline. This is red because this is the active position of the keyframed movement. Move the cursor again, change the settings, and so on until you've finished what you want the text to do. I'm finishing with the text disappearing off the screen, so I've put in a measurement that's beyond the screen dimensions. And that's where I want the animation to finish, so I cut the clip. Now let's try the same thing again with a different method of defining the position of the points in the animation. We'll start off the same, select the clip, show the text simple filter, make sure the cursor is at the start of the clip, if that's where you want the animation to begin, and click the keyframe timer. Then position the cursor and move the text box on the screen. Move the cursor again, and move the text box, and so on until you're finished. With these two methods, you could easily make the text follow something else around on an underlying video. But what about the text at the beginning of this video that shot across the screen, stopped, and then shot off? Well, the process is the same, it's just the timing you have to watch. Because this is a more precise movement, I think it's better to do this using the measurements. To have text appear and disappear off the screen, you have to use position measurements that are beyond the dimensions of the screen, which will depend on the length of the text. So, a minus number for appearing from the left, because the centre of the screen is 0. You also need to make the time it takes to appear on the screen and disappear really short. Otherwise, it'll look as if the text is crawling. So we're talking fractions of a second. This will take a little trial and error. This starts at 8:05 and is on screen at 8:15. You'll notice in the final video that speed depends on placement too. So this animation has a different speed for the text coming on because it has to travel further. If I were doing this for real, I'd want that speed to be the same. You will also have to play around with the length of time on the screen, which will need to be a good couple of seconds, longer if the text is detailed. To achieve the static text, move your cursor and click the timer in the keyframe timeline, before moving on to the exit timing. If you find the timing is wrong, you can move the little diamond markers around, or start again with something this simple. If you find settings you're happy with and think you'll want to use again, you can save them as a preset. Make sure you have the keyframe selected, click on the plus and give your effect a name, and it'll be available to select in the future. All you'll have to do is change the text. Thanks for watching, and if you've subscribed, I'll see you again next time.